Hey guys, it's Stephanie with the Rancher's Homestead. Welcome back to the channel. I have my little breakfast helper here today. We are going to show you how to make a very simple breakfast dish when you have loads and loads of eggs. So you're going to need a loaf of bread or some toast, and you're going to need eggs, and that's it. So we're going to first fill our pot full of water. You ready? Okay, fill it with water. And while she fills that, I'm going to go ahead and slice up our bread.
Is that enough?
Yeah. So this bread is my gluten-free whole grain sandwich bread that I shared last week. And I will go ahead and link that in the description if you missed it. If you jump back a video, you'll be able to see how to make this. But it is our new favorite gluten-free bread. So I just whipped this one up yesterday, and it's ready to be sliced and baked. So however many people you're going to feed, that's how many eggs you want to get. First, you're going to go ahead and churn your water on because you want boiling water here. What you're going to do is you're going to drop your eggs into your boiling water very gently, and you're only going to cook them for 5 minutes total. So you want to make sure that your water is boiling and nice and hot before you drop them in, because what you're looking for is the whites to get cooked, but the yolk to not. Okay, our water is just about boiling, and we're going to pick out, so how it works is you want 1 egg per piece of toast. Sometimes if your toast is small, you can do 1 egg for 2 pieces of toast, but if you like it to have a really gooey yolk, then you'll want to do 1 egg per piece of toast. So I have 2 pieces of toast going down in the toaster right now. So when it pops up, will you be my butter? Okay. And we're going to go ahead and lightly or very gently drop an egg in. We're going to do 6 eggs for us because some of these pieces of toast are a little bit smaller and I can share an egg with that. But we're going to rest it on your spoon and then gently lower it into your boiling water. You want to try one? Okay. Do it real gently. Don't touch the pot. It'll burn you. Hold it against the side. There you go. Good job. Now I'm going to set my timer for 5 minutes. While these are cooking, we're going to get all of our toast done, because as soon as these get out, it's kind of like a race against the clock to get them out. Otherwise, your yolk starts cooking as well. And what you're trying to get at is that your white is cooked, but your yolk is not. What do we call these, Emily?
Eggs literally on toast.
Eggs literally on toast. So my mom used to always call them eggs on toast. And Emily one time came in and was like, "Mom, can you make that eggs literally on the toast?" And so we've now called it that, eggs literally on toast. But it's the simplest recipe to use. It's a quick breakfast with good protein and carbs in it. And it uses up all of these farm fresh eggs when you have so much coming in during the spring months. Okay, so these have gone for 5 minutes exactly. I'm going to immediately get them off of the stove and run them under cool water. Emily's going to finish buttering all of our toast here. And this part is kind of hard for any kids to help because it is kind of hot. Fix this. And I am going to, see, I know that this piece is kind of a little bit small, and that's why I did only 6 eggs. But I'm going to go ahead and take my egg here, and I'm going to hit it with my knife to crack it, and then I'm going to peel it apart and open it. My yolk was actually just starting to cook, so I know that I barely made it in time. It's still a little runny. And I'm just going to take my spoon and scoop out the white that's already cooked, and I'm going to share this egg between both of these toasts. And you just got to kind of be careful not to get any shells. You don't want shells in your breakfast. And I'll take a little bit of the yolk and move it over to this side. And there you go. you have eggs literally on your toast. And we'll go ahead and do that for all of these. There you have it. Eggs, literally, on the toast. And we're going to go ahead and eat up our breakfast, get our schoolwork done. And actually, I'm going to meet you back here in the kitchen, and I want to show you how to make a very simple yogurt using just mason jars and a pot of water. You do not need to have an Instapot. I know that's kind of all the craze right now. I don't have an Instapot, so I've been making yogurt for years, not even using an Instapot. I'm sure that's probably simpler, but I don't have one. So I go ahead and do it right on my stovetop using 2 mason jars and a pot of water. So I'm going to show you how to do that next, but first we're going to go get some school done.
Beside a hive, 5 times 5 is 25. 25 bees beside a hive.
Okay, we're all done with school, and I'm going to make some yogurt out of some raw milk that I have here. You can use regular pasteurized milk if you want, but what you do want is, if it is raw, skim your cream, because this is perfect with skim milk, which I love. You can also do it full fat if you want to, but I like to use my cream for other things. This is actually homemade yogurt, but I had it in, it's just stored in this container. But what you need to make yogurt, the only thing that you'll need to do is you need to get a plain yogurt that has active live cultures in it. So that is your starter for your yogurt. And once you have yogurt made, you can use your own yogurt as your next starter for your next batch. But for the very first one, you need to get yogurt bought from the store that has active live cultures in it. So just on the back, the ingredients should say, you know, milk, and then it'll say active live cultures, and it needs to be plain. So that is what I have here. This is actually homemade yogurt. It's just stored in this container. Simple to do. You need a thermometer for knowing the temperature of your milk. I use this digital thermometer here. You can, I'll link it in the description. I actually really like it for all my cheese making. I use it in my breads, meat, everything. A digital thermometer is so much easier to read than the other one. So all you're going to do is I have about this much water here, and you want it to go up over the jar to about here. I always inspect my jars really well before I put them in. Like, actually, I might need to go get another jar on this one. I can see the bottom is cracked just a little bit. My jars get used and abused around here, and I just don't want, with it sitting on the bottom of the pot and heating up, I've had them break on me or crack, and then your milk spills out, and it's a big bummer. So I'm gonna grab another jar real quick. Okay, so I'm just gonna fill both of my mason jars up. I am going to leave a pretty generous headspace because you are going to add your culture into it once these heat up. So I always make 2 quart jars at a time, and that takes about 1 half-gallon jar. Okay, then you're going to go ahead and stick them into your pot that has water in it and turn it on to about 4. You want to heat this milk up to 180 degrees. So I am going to just watch it as I go, but pretty much just leave it here. I might stir the milk just a little bit just to bring the warm milk from the bottom up to the surface and really evenly distribute it. But you want to heat your milk to 180 degrees. Okay, so these have reached 180 degrees. So I'm going to go ahead and carefully pull them out of the water, and I just set them right here on my stove. I know this sounds kind of counterproductive, but now you're just going to let them sit here and drop back down in temperature to 110. Once it hits 110, we're going to add our culture and then get them in an incubator. The best way to incubate that I have found that they set up the quickest is in my dehydrator on the yogurt setting. But for years before I had a dehydrator, I just put them into my oven and put the light on. That stayed warm enough. I also would turn my oven on just for like 2 minutes and then turn it off, and that pretty much rose the temperature of your oven to about 115, 110. And then I would turn it off, turn the light on, and it kind of held at that temperature. You're going to want it to hold at that temperature to incubate them for about 8 hours or more. So finding a spot that will hold that temperature is important. I find my oven did fine and they did set up, but the fastest way is in my Excalibur dehydrator. Okay, so these are down to 110 degrees. Now I'm going to go ahead and put 2 tablespoons of my yogurt starter. So this is just, again, the yogurt that is already homemade, but you can buy one at the store that has active live cultures in it. And I'm going to add 2 tablespoons into each of my jars. This is my sourdough spatula, but it works great for this as well. And I'm going to stir it up just a little bit to mix that in. And then I'm just going to use a cap here, one of these plastic caps that don't have, they don't make a tight seal on it. And I'm going to stick these into my dehydrator set to my yogurt setting. The other thing you can do, like I said before, is turn your oven light on and stick them in your oven. You want these to incubate for 6 to 8 hours or even longer till they set up at 115 to 110 degrees. So you don't want it to be super, you don't want it to be any warmer than 115. And these will set up into yogurt, and then I'll show you what the next step is. Okay, my yogurt has set up. You might see a little bit of liquid on the top, and that's just the way. And you can go ahead and strain that off if you want a thicker yogurt, or you can stir it in if you want a thinner yogurt. But this is a plain yogurt that I will stick into my fridge now and let it cool completely all the way through, and then we will enjoy it with some granola or some fresh fruit or berries or anything like that. These are perfect in like mason jar parfaits, yogurt parfaits, where you can add a little bit of sweetener, which we use maple syrup or honey, and then you can put some fresh berries and some granola, and it's so delicious in a simple breakfast. So I hope that this was a helpful video, that you have some breakfast ideas, how to make a simple yogurt right on your stovetop with mason jars. Make sure to like and subscribe to the video. I send out one new YouTube video every single week. Jump on over to the blog and put in your email, and I send out 2 emails a week, one on Monday and Thursday with new recipes, ranch life, and simple living. I will see you next time.